Hello, friends. My name is Kermit Rowe. For those of you who do not know me, I am a bivocational pastor at Liberty Baptist Temple and also a locker room leader for 2 locker rooms for the Gathering, and have been with the Gathering for a good 7 years. And also I've worked at several nonprofits in the area helping out there. I've been blessed and asked to give you a few thoughts for a devotion, and so here goes. I'm just a people watcher, and over the last couple of months, God has been urging me to observe how people are reacting to the pandemic. Those reactions have been as different as people are. We've seen empathy, and we've seen unconcern. We've seen passion and anger. We've seen selflessness and selfishness. We've seen despair. And we've seen peace, love and hate, faith and fear. It's made me wonder, what is it about not relating that makes us want to relate? Oftentimes to those that we didn't do a lot of it with, or maybe we never would have done any of it with before this time. Because you know what? People are talking with, they're relating with, they're getting closer with people that they maybe knew casually before this, and maybe they didn't, I mean, getting social when social is hard to get. Now, the word social has some interesting origins. I looked it up for a sermon recently. Until the 1500s, and I didn't know this, it meant devoted to or relating to home life. It wasn't until 200 years later that the meaning living or liking to live with others or companionship came about. So generally, being social first happened in the home, a place of intimacy. And then it evolved as the society evolved into what is now home, I guess, here recently. The last few decades, it seems folks have forgot what being social really meant, though. The isolation has been on the rise. Facebook friends started replacing face-to-face friends. And although we have the tools to relate like no other time in history, we are more lonely, more mentally unhealthy, more suicidal, more angry, more addicted than maybe ever before. And you just got to wonder why. What has happened? Well, the Bible has lots to say about social skills and socialization. In fact, getting along with others is a major theme that runs throughout the Bible from cover to cover. In the 10 Commandments, God gave instructions about relating to others. The Proverbs are loaded with social skill instructions. And Jesus himself tells us how much he values being social with the second greatest commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. And he said that second commandment was like the first and greatest commandment. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Past generations, the Bible was considered the social skills training manual. Think of social skills, and the Bible teaches a lot of them. And they're good skills. Being kind, being forgiving, being generous, being gracious, being thoughtful, being hospitable, being cheerful, being humble, being loving and honest and hardworking and trustworthy. Christians just should not be intimidated or scared away by social skills. Instead, we should reclaim our heritage of knowing more about them than anyone else. So how are folks who are being forced to be socially distant getting more socially close than ever before? Now, that's the big question, because it just doesn't make sense. Maybe the answer is the rediscovery of the power of relationship. That relationships can be strengthened while sitting alone at home tells us that no matter the way it's pursued, relationship can be accomplished, and accomplished well, as long as it is pursued. And since social originated in the home in a roundabout way, maybe, just maybe, God is making us start back at square one with this epidemic. The biblical word that captures the true essence of satisfying and effective relationship is koinonia. It is the word translated fellowship, and it appears 19 times in most editions of the New Testament. And each time, it's God initiated, and the working out of it always brings harmony and understanding. Yes, faith feeds koinonia, but fear stifles it. And you know what? We can improve on it, and here's how. God first. Perfect love with a capital L casts out fear. Let him help you push the Holy Spirit that's inside of you and inside all of his children out to the outside. Out of the darkness where the enemy likes to dwell and into the light where God is. Let him take it from there when you do it, because you'll never love someone more than he does. And we're not responsible for the results. We're just responsible for the doing. And after all, would God want us to be afraid of something that he has clearly called us to do? I think not. But since the word social has its origins in the notions of home and intimacy, and God is as intimate as he can be with us, making his home inside of us in the form of his Holy Spirit, I wonder if we are sometimes guilty of holding God at a social distance in fear while we are holding others at a social distance in fear. Do we fear getting close with the one who is so close to us that he's inside us? Now that, right there, just doesn't make sense. Does it? Well, maybe it's time for us to get on that intimate altar of our hearts and pray without fear and refuse to be swayed by the enemy's unholy distractions and go out and be the light that God has ordained us to be. Let's unleash the capital love L, the capital love with the big capital L that's inside all of us. And then sit back and watch love and what it can do. I hope you all had a great day, and you're going to finish that day strong for him. Thank you for your time, and God bless.